People are in characters, they're complicated, and their choices don't always make sense.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shows that tackled sensitive subjects the best.
And this is life. And these things happen. And you're not children anymore.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most notable TV series that frequently deal with serious issues and handle them well. Due to the nature of the topic, a trigger warning is in effect. Did we miss your favourite show that tackles serious subjects? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. A Million Little Things.
I have something I have to get to, so I have exactly 5 more minutes to spend on this. But just so we're clear, at the end of this call, we will either have a deal.
This show does not waste any time. The very premise is a group of friends mourning after their friend takes his own life. The way A Million Little Things discusses depression so openly and directly, without ever sensationalizing it, is refreshing.
People keep secrets from their close friends and loved ones. Sometimes you don't even know they have these secrets until an event like this happens.
On top of that, we get an honest depiction of the different effects things like death, depression, and both physical and mental illness have on different people. On the surface, some might want to write it off as just another tearjerker drama, but if folks give it a chance, they'll see it's much more than that.
It just made me realize that having a kid means raising a person. I really want to raise a person with you.
Number 9. One Day at a Time.
Badly for them to grow up and live full, happy lives. But I can't teach them how to do that because I don't know how to do that myself.
First of all, the fact that the story here is centered around a Hispanic family alone is deeply significant, and its importance can't be overlooked. After all, how many popular mainstream shows about Latinx families and their real nuanced stories are there? Representation is important, and One Day at a Time is the perfect example of why that is.
You can rest now. You are home. I'll see you tonight.
While it ended way before its time, we got to witness the Alvarez family experience some seriously deep storylines. The way the sitcom deals with stories such as Elena's sexuality, Penelope's mental health, and so many other topics is incredibly graceful.
You taught me a really valuable lesson. Just because I'm gay, people will hate me without knowing anything else about me.
It opens the door to societal discussions, breaking down barriers and working to dismantle stigmas. Number 8. Boy Meets World.
I'm gonna stop him.
How?
I'm going to the police.
Good. We'll drive you.
This coming-of-age sitcom started out as a kind of lesson of the week type of deal. Corey, Sean, or another member of the group finds themselves in some sort of bind. By the end, they'll often learn valuable life lessons with the help of figures like the Matthews parents or the legendary Mr. Feeney.
You see, Mr. Hunter, once the integrity has been breached, even the strongest fabric can unravel. Even the strongest friendship.
Eventually, as the seasons progress and the characters grow, so too do the problems they must face. Many teen and family shows get so ridiculous and extreme with how they deal with these things, but Boy Meets World shows a much more accurate depiction. It tackles subjects like racism, alcohol use, abuse, even assaults from authority figures, but makes sure to tell these stories in a responsible and thoughtful way.
He used his power and authority to take advantage of her. And he told me that there was nothing I could do and that he was never going to stop. So I did something.
Number 7. Switched at Birth. The representation of deaf culture alone makes this show worthwhile, but that's not all. Family dynamics play a huge role as the Kenish and Vasquez clans come together. While they sometimes clash, their differences aren't used for gratuitous conflict. On top of that, deafness is treated with the respect and care it deserves, and the deaf characters like Daphne and Emmett are fully realised, not caricatures. Plus, the hearing people take the time to learn and understand the deaf world, and ableist attitudes are called out.
I don't know what to do for her.
In the midst of all that, the show takes the time to tackle issues like racism and assault. Come for the quirky plot about babies who were switched at birth, but stay for the tactful portrayal of serious issues.
Come on, college isn't supposed to be a safe space. I'm tired of not having a voice.
Number 6. Jessica Jones.
You know what he can do. You know what he made me do.
So you're running?
Yeah, I sure as hell am.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe tends to be pretty grandiose, but Jessica Jones shows us a side of the superworld we don't see quite as often. The title character is your more everyday powered person just trying to get by. When we meet her, she's left her superhero life behind due to a past experience involving the villain Kilgrave.
A stupid name and a death wish?
I have hope. The person, not the feeling. Well, the feeling too. I'm a hopeful man.
Where is she?
She's a living embodiment of your guilt, isn't she?
Of course, she's unable to run from her problems forever. Through her journey, we get to delve deep into subjects like PTSD and alcohol use disorder. Her characterization and storylines, combined with those of the other characters, are handled extremely well.
Carl's probably safer with Trish. She'd never kill someone. It's not in her DNA like it is in yours.
It's not in my freaking DNA.
It may be a show full of powers and fantastical plot points, but at its core, it feels human and real. Number 5. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. While many modern shows touch on the matter of mental illness, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is tailored around it.
I don't know who I am without them. I know that's pathetic. I know it's pathetic, but it's true. Who am I supposed to be now?
The series follows Rebecca's journey discovering and accepting that she has borderline personality disorder, as she also navigates day-to-day life. Though dark humor and musical numbers are used to tell the story, they never diminish her experience or take away from the depth of her situation. Rather, they serve the purpose of normalizing her story.
I'm certifiably cute and adorably obsessed.
They say love makes you crazy, therefore you can't call her crazy. 'Cause when you call her crazy, you're just calling her in love. Blam!
Naturally, some of the plot points throughout are a bit extreme. It is a TV show after all, and it's meant to be entertaining. But through the scope of Rebecca's mind, we see a nuanced portrayal of what it's like living with mental illness.
Life is a gradual series of revelations that occur over a period of time. Some things might happen that seem connected, but there's not always a reason or rhyme.
Number 4. Parenthood. Family dynamics, autism, adoption, sexual identity. Wow. Parenthood really tackles it all.
You're ruining my life! I told you we don't have a choice. I'm out of money. Plus, I want you guys to have a chance to be with family and become decent, upstanding citizens of the world. Get in the car!
Through the gaze of the Braverman family, we see such a wide range of different types of families. Adam's cookie-cutter life is challenged when his son, Max, is diagnosed with Asperger's. Sarah, for her part, is a single mum with 2 adolescents. Meanwhile, Crosby is a bachelor who finds out he has a son. And Julia and her husband struggle with growing their young family. We're barely scratching the surface here.
I'll try to protect our kids. It's what we do. You know, and then they grow up and we can't protect them anymore. And you'd save yourself a lot of grief if you'd accept that fact.
It's rare to see a show successfully take on so many different perspectives, giving each one its due, while also bringing them together. But this one does so gracefully as the characters navigate their ever-changing lives.
Someday those kids are going to be playing hide and seek or messing around in the barn. They're going to find an old shoebox full of baseball stuff, and they're going to think they found the hidden treasure.
Number 3. This Is Us.
You see, I turned out pretty all right, which might surprise a lot of folks considering the fact that 36 years ago, my life started with you leaving me on a fire station doorstep with nothing more than a ratty blanket and a crap-filled diaper.
Some shows work because of the gentle ways in which they bring life to the screen, connecting audiences with the characters. This Is Us is one of them. We see the lives of the Pearson family throughout the generations and in different timelines. For one thing, the relationship between Kate, Randall, and Kevin captures the messiness and love that comes with having siblings. There's also a poignant exploration of grief woven through the show.
We're gonna need to talk about some things involving your family and even about your father that were not so perfect when he was actually alive.
On top of that, we witness things like Randall finding his birth father, Kate dealing with her body image, and Kevin coming to terms with his substance use disorder. To say that's weighty stuff would be an understatement, but in This Is Us hands, it all feels accessible and thoughtful.
He was easier and he didn't recoil when I touched him, and he wasn't some sullen teenager who was angry at me for no reason, and he didn't abandon me and move away after his father died.
Number 2. American Crime.
You didn't see me? You didn't see me, huh? Your dumbass didn't see me. You learn to drive, bitch. Hey, you listen to me? Learn to drive!
Despite rave reviews as well as several awards, this crime drama was cancelled long before its time. Still, it made the most of the years it had. Each season followed a new story, focusing on social and political issues that, sure, play dramatically on TV, but also resemble real-life matters.
I'm not leaving. No, I'm not leaving him. I'm not leaving him.
It's okay. Carla! Carla! Get everyone out of here. Get them out. Get everyone out of here right now. Right now!
First airing in 2015, it felt particularly timely. Now, issues such as racism, sexism, homophobia, violence, and discrimination in the United States are nothing new. But American Crime was able to join the discourse surrounding these problems, providing worthwhile contributions to the conversation.
Lo apoyo, papa non.
Mais c'est ça que va passer ti moun là.
Ça pas problème non?
Mais oui. Lisa maman.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Brothers and Sisters. Family drama done properly.
Fight or flight. The bus takes off. And I fight like hell to keep there from being any distance between us.
Never Have I Ever. Indian-American teen Debbie's story explores grief, the teenage experience, cultural differences, and so much more.
I know you think that it was your father who was the only one who cared about you, but that's not true. I love you. You're my only child. You're my whole family.
Atypical. An exploration of life on the autism spectrum.
I hope he does okay in school. I hope he finds something he loves to do. Those are so easy.
No, they weren't. They were hard. But every time I thought you couldn't do something, you did it.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's not all fun and games.
But the world can be a scary place. You just gotta learn how to deal with it, all right?
Yeah, well, I found my way.
That's not you, man. That's them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Degrassi, The Next Generation.
Before my dad died, I wanted him gone. So why am I crying now that he is?
The tagline for this teen drama is, "It goes there." That pretty much says it all, doesn't it? Degrassi, The Next Generation doesn't just tackle the serious issues here and there. Instead, it focuses on how such topics affect everyday life and influence us as we grow up into ourselves.
We tried to talk to her.
What about me? Why didn't you talk to me?
We thought it was under control.
The lives of these teenage characters may seem extreme at certain points, but if you really watch them, it's clear that the core stuff they're dealing with is pretty universal, and it's hard not to find at least one character you relate to. The kids at Degrassi deal with everything from violence to death to mental health to substance use disorder, digging deep to shed light on topics that often aren't discussed enough.
Not ready to burn it?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.